Hello again from Metro Manila, the Philippines, Southeastern Asia. Here is my summary of an article written to the Denver Post back on, or at least published on February the 13th, 2016, about the first one of several interviews that Sue Klebold, the mother of Dylan Klebold, the younger one of the two perpetrators of the Columbine High School massacre 20 years ago today, has granted to the media. Her first interviewer was a veteran American television journalist, Diane Sawyer. I saw an edited version of the interview at least once on YouTube, possibly in 2018, or then in early 2019. So here is the article written by Emily Rush, or Rush, spelled R-U-S-C-H. No copyright infringement intended. The article was updated on April the 17th, 2016. Survivors of the Columbine massacre and local law enforcement officials expressed mixed feelings following Sue Klebold's Friday night interview with Diane Sawyer on ABC. It was the first interview, televised interview she had ever granted, and probably also the first videoed interview she had ever granted. The Colorado Attorney General's office on Twitter called the episode of 2020 irresponsible and inflammatory. Shooter's mom doesn't get it, the tweet read. Decision to talk now doesn't prevent school shootings. Instead, could have very negative consequences. #selfish. But Connie Sanders, whose father, Dave Sanders, was the teacher who died in the shootings, had more sympathy. My heart really goes out to her, she said Saturday. If anybody's pain is bigger than mine, I imagine it's hers. Sanders now works with violent offenders in the hopes that she can prevent future victims of gun violence. On Saturday, she was at a gun control roundtable event in Denver, hosted by former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, who herself was the victim of gun violence. She was shot and seriously wounded, actually shot in the head and seriously wounded at a Congress in Your Corner event. Have to find it. On Wikipedia. Yes. She was born in June 1970 and represented Arizona's 8th congressional district from January 2007 until she resigned in January 2012. The shooting took place in January 2011. A young gunman named Jared Lee Lohner shot, or Lohner, or Lofner, however it should be pronounced, shot Giffords in the head with a 33-round magazine Glock pistol. She survived. However, 6 others were killed. 18 others were wounded. 17 were wounded in addition to Mrs. Giffords. Sanders watched Klebold's interview and said what stood out most was that Dylan Klebold seemed like a normal child, and that his mother was initially worried for his safety when she heard about the shooting. How horrific of a turn in her mind had to take to realize not only that he was one of the shooters, but that he lost his life, Sanders said. In one of the interviews, Sue Klebold admitted that she actually prayed while the shooting drama was unfolding that God would let Dylan die before Dylan killed any more people. In an open letter posted Thursday on Facebook, survivor Anne-Marie Hochhalter, who survived but was paralyzed from the waist down and therefore has to use a wheelchair for the rest of her life, commended Klebold for committing to use proceeds from the book to help people suffering from mental illness. Hochhalter was paralyzed in the shooting. I have no ill will towards you. Just as I wouldn't want to be judged by the sins of my family members, I hold you in that same regard, she wrote. Staff writer Elizabeth Hernandez contributed to this report.